Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we are going to be finally diving into every single top 16 deck list that we got from the recent regionals out in Dallas at the Bandai Card Games Fest. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy, and let's go ahead and dive right into this. Also, real quick, just want to give a massive shout out to everybody who has been putting together these top 16 deck lists for us to look at, as well as the top 16 interviews, if you haven't seen, on a Card Nerds channel, as well as Pro DM Joey. Also, check out GG Haven. They actually just posted a top 16 sort of deck list breakdown as well, and it actually featured Div in it. If you don't know, he was a top 8 player from the first regionals, and he was actually a commentator at the recent Bandai regionals, so awesome to see the community getting more familiar faces and yeah, just more people involved in the community that have a passion for the game. I love to see it. And he's also a Toto player, so you know, great taste, as you can tell. But yeah, massive shout out to them. Links in the description. Definitely go show them some love, because behind the scenes they've been putting in a lot of work for us to get this information, so thank you guys for that. And yeah, let's go ahead and dive right into these deck lists, boys. Now, I will have this linked in the description if anybody wants to come check it out themselves. Also, massive shout out to experts.dev, who I love this website. I've mentioned it a billion times in all my videos, and I'll continue to. Great for building decks, checking out tournament results, all that stuff. But yeah, I'll have the link to this in the description if you guys want to check it out, because it actually has top 32 deck lists, and it's actually pretty interesting to see. We're going to be breaking down the top 16 just for time's sake in the video, but I mean, we've got stuff like the Yellow Blizzard in here, more Toto. We've also got some Yellow Goddess deck from Sword Art, Red Black Clover, Yuji Nanami. It actually looked like this was Unionversity. Shout out to bro. And then if you guys didn't see, we did do a top 16 predictions video, and it did end up more or less playing out how I thought it was going to, looking pretty similar to Gen Con, with the only really changes in Code Geass shaking up the meta, just green getting buffed and looking pretty insane. I thought we were going to see more Code Geass, if anything, more red and more purple potentially, but green is just cooking, as we can see. Main thing that stands out, though, is no Attack on Titan. Now, I did want to mention that out of the 2 games we got to watch live, one of them was an AOT game. I actually might make a video like doing like commentary over that gameplay if you guys want to. If anyone's curious, might do it, let me know. But regardless, yeah, we did get to see an AOT deck play, I believe, against a Lancelot deck, and it was the one I thought might go into top 16, the Red Cadet Rush. Regardless, AOT, I don't know, in my opinion, I feel like the set dropped a few months too late. Even though red is pretty good, I feel like red does have a chance to stand out still, at least the Red Cadet Rush. As you can see, AOT just didn't really do much in the meta, and it's not surprising in my opinion. Hopefully with Volume 2 we can get some crazy support and stuff, and it can kind of stand out more. But yeah, AOT not really doing too much, whereas I'm pretty sure in the next regionals with Kenshin and Hunter x Hunter being legal, we're undoubtedly going to see Kenshin in the top, no question. If not red, more than red too. Maybe like some purple as well, because it looks pretty gross. And then Hunter x Hunter as well, with the new cards and the new support we got with Volume 2 buffs. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we do actually see a little bit of Hunter x Hunter. So that'll be in that prediction video for the next regionals, obviously. But main thing I'm getting at here is, yeah, more or less looking pretty similar to Gen Con. Obviously, we got some more variety, which is awesome to see. But to no surprise, the same standard, a lot of Mustangs, a lot of purple bleach, more Totos, love to see the Toto love, and green bleach still up there. So yeah, the top tier decks all around still staying at top tier, with Code Geass joining them now, it looks like. If they weren't before. If you don't know, Code Geass was, I'm pretty sure even before Volume 2, not bad at all. At least like purple and red. But yeah, now green is obviously gross. So, but yeah, definitely check out the predictions if you want to see what my thoughts were before the top 16. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and start diving into these boys. And again, shout out to GG Haven, because they actually have the names of the top 16 players. We don't have every single player's name on the deck list here, so should be able to say their names as we go, just because I did write those down because I wanted to mention them. So 16th place here, going to Derek with the green Saitama deck. Really, really awesome build to see here with the 4 serious punches. One of the homies from locals is actually going out to play in regionals at Dallas, and we're going to do an interview with him so we can hear about his experience and stuff. He didn't make it into the top 16, but he did pretty good from what I heard, and in general, we just got to hear from him, so it's going to be awesome to put that video together. But he was actually running a very, very identical deck list, and when I saw his list, I was like, all right, 4 serious punches with this Saitama before. maybe even a special leading into it all with the final. Like, imagine the removal in that turn. So, not gonna lie, I do want to try this build out. Haven't seen the Serious Punch in action, but I can only imagine once he hits the board, just the one action point, or the two, with a Serious Punch or two of them, oh man, it could be so gross. If in general, too, with like the King Rage, the removal in this deck can be pretty strong. So, yeah, awesome to see that Green Saitama was able to make it into the top 16, and there were quite a few people out there playing Green Saitama from what I saw, so really awesome to see. And once again, if you guys didn't make it into the top 16 and even just went out and competed, massive shout out to you. I wish I had the chance to even attempt doing that. But yeah, really cool to see 16th place Derek here, Green Saitama. And then we've got 15th place here, Moha24, looks like their name was. Looks like they were running a pure Sukuna build, including one of the 7-cost Sukunas. Now, real quick, on GG Haven's top 16 breakdown, they mentioned that this deck list for 15th place was not running any specials. So very curious, you know, if there was just a mistranslation there or something, what the actual deck list was. This is the one we have on eXperts here. We'll have to get a, let me know in the comments what the actual build was. It'd be fascinating if a deck actually got into top 16 with 0 specials, the most important card in Union Arena in my opinion. But regardless, here it is, Sukuna deck. Now the one thing that does stand out in both builds, whichever one is correct, 7-cost Sukuna. Bro was trying to get him out, and I'm really curious if he actually did hit the board and what he did. I'll have to watch that interview if we actually do get one. Also, if you're a top 16 contestant and you haven't put together an interview with Pro DM Joey and or Card Nerds, I'm sure you guys can collab in the comments below. Discord that I can link in the description potentially. Just saying, if you guys don't have the connections, I'd love for this to be the place. So plug yourself in the comments, all that good stuff. Would definitely love to help, get whatever I can out there for the community. But yeah, Sukuna deck, pure Sukuna deck. Really, really cool to see here. I mean, just chasing those Sukuna fingers. Again, I'm so curious if the 7-drop will be more viable and how the deck would look if the pair ban didn't exist like it does in Japan. If you don't know, you can't run this Sukuna with the 1-drop Yuji that searches fingers, so would love to see this Sukuna get more value potentially, or just how the deck would look with the 1-drop Yuji, if he was viable essentially. But yeah, really cool to see he got 15th place with the straight Sukuna. I mean, if you're seeing your fingers, dude, the removal with this deck, the board locking that you can do, only one of them is interesting for sure. We'll have to see the final build on this. But in general, Sukuna, it can go crazy if you're seeing the right cards early enough, and you're just getting the fingers and the draw power, and oh man, you get snipe impact off with Malevolent Shrine, like, dude, great deck for sure, one of my favorites. And then we've got our 14th place here, Cloud, running the Mustang deck. I believe this was just a typo, but yeah, 14th place Cloud. Pretty standard Mustang deck for sure. We've got our 2 militaries in trouble, even the 2 Edwards, which I actually started splashing in. And early game, late game, they can be so crazy. I even had a game recently where I trashed the 2 end game for the Edward just to have the impact, and it's just more pressure just to guarantee the win. So nice. If you guys don't know, with Mustang, the draw power, the removal, the deck filtering with your Riza Hawkeye and the raids. In my opinion, the low cost being a huge factor in this as well. You've got 2 fantastic double energy generators, and only one of your cards in your entire deck is a 5. The rest are 4 and lower. So all around, I think that really helps the deck flow as well. But obviously, the draw power and removal is just so good. So yeah, Roy Mustang. Don't think we're going to see this deck going anywhere for a little while, just because all around it's so good. Consistency, draw power, removal wise, fantastic deck, no question. And then in 13th place here, we've got Jane running the purple Renji Rush deck. And if you guys don't know, Jane was actually 2nd place at the last regionals. So I believe the first and only person to have gotten top 16 in 2 regionals so far. So huge shout out to Jane for that. You're clearly cooking. You're clearly an amazing player. So that's really awesome to see. Running the Renji Rush once again. Out of curiosity, is there any deck changes from last time? Let's take a look. Yeah, no. I mean, she got 2nd place with the if it's not broke, don't fix it. That's basically it. So this is the exact to a T list that she ran at the previous Gen Con, and yeah, still cooking with it. Really awesome to see. Renji Rush is probably not going to be going anywhere for a while because it's just, again, so good when it comes to just board rushing with bodies. The damage, too, on the Renji's going crazy if they're unrated. You do have some removal to splash in late game if you need it, even though you're not fully deck filtering. I'm really curious if these Ichigos come into play ever as far as like the nullify impact or the damage twos. But regardless, the bodies just go so crazy. So yeah, really cool deck to see. Renji Rush still cooking. Once again, shout out to Jane, because that is crazy. 2 top 16s. What happens with that? Like if you get 2 invitations, you have your friends compete for one of them. Have your friend group compete for one of the top 16 invitations. And then in 12th place, we've got Weeb Spirit running, shout out to the Toto deck here. Yeah, an amazing deck and a great time to be running it too with cards, with decks like Lancelot running around, or other big double energy generating decks like, I don't know if there was any red Attack on Titan decks. But yeah, anything that is trying to get a bunch of energy generation on the back line, Toto is here to completely disrupt that. And on top of it, swing with big damage, great removal on top of it, with this Goodwill event card that I'm starting to see a lot more of, playing out of your sideline, which is such a great thing. If you have the option to raid from your sideline, get extra value out of your cards after they've been removed, because you can play from your sideline, it is just such a great advantage. Boogie Woogie being one of my favorite specials in the game. Yeah, all around a top tier deck. Running the 11-0-4-1s. Nice, yeah, pretty standard package here. I guess the main thing that we would see in some other decks, but not in this one, is 0 Tojis. I believe some like the 5 cost can be kind of popular, and then 0 Miwas, the 2 APs. Always curious if I'm always debating if I'll ever cut down to completely 0 2 AP Miwas, but there's other value. There's other value for sure. That 2 action points can be hard to justify. But again, a great card to have in the deck floating around, in my opinion. But why not just have 3 Goodwill events and just keep re-rating your cards out of the sideline potentially? And then in 11th place here, we've got Joe Shy, I believe his name was. But yeah, running the Roy Mustang deck here. Something that stands out right away, he's going with the 4. The military is in trouble. Curious if this card comes into play a lot and if it's great to have. I mean, in general, you're keeping your hand full for Roy Mustang with that, which is really nice. And on the other side of it, you have more leeway with completely trashing your hand, because then you get the draw 3. So going the full 4, very interesting. In return, cutting the Edwards. Bro went 8 1s. Interesting, with 12 zeros. Just the 2 Roys. This is something that I've probably got to cut down on myself. I'm at the 4 of right now, but I think I see a lot of people going at 3 or 2 of these 2-cost Roys. But yeah, all around, I can definitely see the vision with the 8 1s and the 12 zeros, just trying to essentially get like an early game weenie rush, like small bodies up there constantly and kind of pressuring your opponent, and then swinging with some crazy raids, board removal essentially. So yeah, I can definitely see the vision in this, not to mention they're really, really good triggers, deck filtering, draw triggers, nullify impact, raid targets. So I mean, doing this for these specific cards too is not a bad idea. Now, I'm curious if he would end up changing the military's in trouble 4 of. Curious how important that this is to him. But overall, I can see the vision with the deck. Oh, and 2 Maze Hues. We don't see that too often either. Obviously, 4 Riza Hawkeyes, though. This is a must-run 4 of, in my opinion. But yeah, not a bad build. Curious. Again, the only thing with cutting the Maze Hues is now you're like, if you don't see either of these double energy generators, you cannot play Roy Mustang. Keep that in mind. You need one of these on the board to play him. So, I mean, as long as you see one, you're good. With the deck filtering, shouldn't be that impossible. Again, you got 4 Rizas to make sure you see what you want. But yeah, all around, Roy Mustang, it's going to cook. And then in 10th place here, we've got Humbro Pie running the Toto deck. Again, the pretty standard thing that we're going to see here with some Goodwill events. Again, no 2 action point Miwas. I guess we're sort of all leaning towards that there's just better cards to be drawing into, essentially, better things to be doing with your action points. Again, it's just that 2 action points. It's hard to justify in certain situations. But all around, we got our double energy generators. We've got our raids. I guess that's going to be, yeah, the one thing that I'm curious to see if anyone's changing or how many they're doing is the Goodwill events. Because I feel like 3, I don't know if I'd ever find the room for 3 of them, but I feel like 2 is going to be almost like a staple now in Toto. Because again, just raiding out of your sideline or even playing something that you might need later on, like even just another Toto raid, essentially. Trust me, as a Edward Elric Brothers player, I can tell you, playing out of sideline is just so nice sometimes. And then in 9th place here, we've got Matt running the yellow Saitama deck here, going with the Hellish Blizzard package as well. So we've got the 3 Hellish Blizzard raids. What do we got for our targets? The double energy generating Blizzard and the 0 cost. Nice. I've seen some people splash in I think it's the 1 Blizzard that allows you to like search for an event or something. Or no, you can grab like a 3 cost. I can see the value for sure. But with these Blizzards, you actually have triggers, which is nice. Going with the 3 Genoses and no Saitama's Apartment. It's really interesting seeing the different builds on this, because like I'll see people either do that Genos or Saitama's Apartment. I'll see people not do 1 punch. Running the 2 Saitamas, I actually like, and actually in the interview I was watching with Pro DM Joey, I believe it was, he was mentioning that these Saitamas come in clutch for impact as well. Just having more Saitamas in your hand to hang on to trash with this guy to get impact later on. listen, when I played the deck, that was a great little thing to have in the end. So yeah, really cool to see here, some 0-cost bombs. Now, he did go with no ones here, but he was able to, that sort of balances itself out with, how many 0-costs is this? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14 zeros. So yeah, 14 zeros, no ones, 3 twos. I feel like you are in slight territory to sort of brick, just maybe sometimes, but he did throw in more zeros than normal, which sort of does balance it out. But yeah, keep that in mind. You do want to have your ramp of zeros, ones, and twos, especially when you're playing 9 rounds to get that consistent, you know, 0 bricking going. But yeah, overall, yeah, the Saitama build, it's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. You get this guy out by turn 3, and he just keeps throwing them down if you can find them. That's why I threw in that Saitama's apartment, even with like the Genos potentially. It has a trigger, and you can just keep searching. But yeah, all around, awesome deck. And then moving on to our top 8 here, starting it out with 8th place, Lewis, running the Sukuna and Nanami package, and he actually went down to even the specials, going with a 2-2 split. Man, very interesting. Me personally, I feel like you've got enough Nanamis here to just go full ratio techniques. All you need is one of them chilling on the bench, and now you can pop this. And at the end of the day, it's still a 5k. I mean, your opponent could put it on the top of their deck, but it's a 5k removal. Obviously, you know, teach their own, but yeah, this special is just so good. So I definitely would lean more towards 4 of these, but all around, really cool to see that he went with the split here. This deck can go so crazy, dude. The Nanami raids coming online to just lock your opponent from attacking. Sukuna's one of the best starter decks, obviously. Yuji removal. So, you know, with enough removal, locking, this deck can definitely slow your opponent down a lot. And if you're high rolling enough into the Sukuna's fingers, you're looking really good with your raids. Yeah, pretty straightforward build too. He didn't throw in any Malevolent Shrines, didn't get too fancy with any other Sukunas either. He did go with the 2-2 color split here, which is also interesting to see. 2 of these Yujis, 2 of these Nanamis. I like that. Curious if he was, yeah, I mean, there's not really a reason to play for 15 in your deck in this, huh? Because I don't think this Nanami is that crazy when he gets down to 15. But yeah, all around, I'm sure it's just such a rush-heavy deck that slows your opponent down enough to where you're gaining the advantage. So yeah, I can definitely see the vision with this. 4 Makis here. Nice. I mean, yeah, again, at the end of the day, we're looking for our fingers. That's the main thing, right? And then in 7th place here, we've got our green Saitama deck ran by Specs. Our second green Saitama in the top 16. Man, I can't believe so many of these went out to play, dude. It's so sick to see. Now, we did go with an entirely different build at this. No serious punches. And we actually played against somebody recently where they had this Silver Fang, and he can be a problem. He can make you have to think, especially because the main thing you're trying to do with this deck is keep your Kings and your Silver Fangs alive on the front line specifically. So I like this guy. I like the addition of this dude. Me personally, I'm so degenerate. If they're not helping me deck filter or get down or get up on energy, I'm probably not going to include him in the deck. But I 100% see the value in this. Very nice addition. Going with 4 of the Terrible Tornadoes. Okay. What are your 0 builds on this? Going with the 11 zeros, 4 ones, 1 Tank Top Master, just 1? Huh. Okay. And then he went with the 3-4 Saitamas. Again, pretty all-around standard, minus like the Silver Fangs. I guess the Stingers are also pretty unique as well. I always thought about splashing these guys in just for the one turn that you're ready to bump up your energy by 1 more, and he's been chilling on the bench all game. I could definitely see him coming in clutch. But yeah, all around, pretty good deck here. And he helps with breaking as well, if you think about it. Allows you to hopefully run less 2s so that you can just skip to your 3 costs when the time comes. It's probably another value in that 0 cost. Also, he went with 3 of the Silver Fangs. Nice. I've been seeing a little bit about that as well. Just too many of them, too often, just not what you want to see. But come on, Silver Fangs, put him on the front line, dude. As long as they're doing their job, pressuring your opponent, I like them. I'll probably keep that at 4 personally. But yeah, this is an interesting build. The Serious Punch is grabbing my eye a little bit more, but I mean, this got 7th place, so. And also, that's another thing to mention. This is a very pilot-heavy dependent deck, I would say. Whereas, like, you know, I don't want to say, you know, it's hard to mess up with some of the other decks. Versus the green Saitama deck, you've got to know what you're doing. You got to know your game plan. You got to not misplay at all. Obviously, misplays are going to set you back in any game in any deck, but this is a pilot-dependent deck. So seeing it in 7th place, really awesome to see. Congratulations. And then in 6th place here, we've got our Oh, it looks like another Renji Rush deck here, ran by Tony, 6th place. Yeah, I mean, standard Renji Rush, essentially. More or less looking like what Jane had, minus the, I noticed the Oetsus are not here, because that stood out to me instantly when I saw that in her build. More Ichigos. I mean, again, Renji Rush, we just want 4K body, 4K body, 4K body, so that works. I can see it, I can see it. And it worked, 6th place. I mean, that's so crazy, dude, that Renji Rush is still doing this. We're going to have to see if Kenshin can finally shut this deck down a little bit. It's been a year, and it's still this crazy. Like, it's gotten a few Volume 2 editions, but they're not even, like not that they're not necessary, but the deck was already doing what it wanted to do before them, so... Man, purple Renji Rush, dude. Holy crap. And then 5th place here, we've got Wheelzing running the Toto deck, another Toto deck. We've got our Goodwill events. This one actually has one of the 2 action point Miwas. Again, that'd probably be me. I don't know if I could ever fully cut her, but if I did, it'd probably be for Tojis. That's interesting. We actually saw no Tojis in any of these decks. I really thought that 5K, the 5 cost, right? 5K, or is it a 6 cost? Regardless, I thought that one had a little bit of value, not gonna lie. Maybe they do. Maybe they just weren't ran. Maybe they would have helped. But in general, they didn't need them, man. That's crazy to see. Going with the... Looks like... Can we sort this by cost? Yes. There we go. That makes it easier. Looks like the 12-0, 3-1s. Yeah, pretty standard ramp here. Yeah, all around standard deck. We've got the Totos as well. Yeah, like I said, we just got a Miwa 2 action point splashed into this one. I'm very curious if this Miwa separated him from the other ones. Probably not, though. I'm sure it was mostly matchups, if anything. Dude, I wish I could have seen some of these Toto games, though, man. Seeing what kind of decks they were shutting down and stuff. The energy manipulation can just be so good in this deck, dude. And we are now moving into the top 4 here with our 4th place green Toshiro deck. Toshiro Kenpachi, ran by Jesse. Man, this deck is so gross, dude. I'm surprised we didn't see more of these in the last one, and I'm surprised one that did get in was only like 16th place. Again, so many variables, right? So many variables, what you played against, how your games went, etc., etc. All around, though, this deck is so gross. Toshiro raid is so gross. Actually, Jesse, we saw this guy play. Again, I'm planning to, especially if you guys would like to see him do videos on the live games that we got to watch. Just so people that didn't see got to watch them and we get to commentate a little bit. Jesse was actually one of the games, though. That was crazy. Him versus that Sukuna. Oh, that was rough. But that's the name of RNG, right? Anyways, Toshiro raids are just so disgusting, dude. It's so good. Not to mention the Kenpachis, like, on top of that with your Yachirus if they come into play. And the deck just got so much good support. Curious if the Shinjis ever popped up, because this card did catch my eye. Not a terrible looking card at all for 2 action points, especially in the right turns. Yeah, all around pretty standard build. Went with, yeah, we got our 4 1s. We've got our, looks like 14 zeros. Okay, so we actually got a really low energy cost build here, which is good because, again, it's very nice to get the bodies on the board, guarantee not breaking, etc. The Toshiro, is this the... No, this is the revived Toshiro, yeah. So 2 of the revived Toshiros, and then as far as the Kenpachis, he went with 4 of these, and then 2 of the 2 action points. I think that's a safe way to play it for sure. Especially if you're, this looks like just a slightly more Toshiro-dependent build. I mean, look at his special. It's right there. So yeah, it's definitely more of a Toshiro-focused build for sure. But obviously, Kenpachi is still here to do a lot of work as well. So huge shout out to Jesse, man. That was a fun game to watch. Wish we got to see more of the live streams, but I was happy we got to see this one because this is an interesting one to watch, no doubt. Toshiro raids are, they're so gross, dude. Are we ever going to get a freeze as good as him? And then we've got 3rd place here. Shout out to Christiansten. This is the name, Christiansten. Running the Code Geass deck, man. Green Code Geass. This is, I mean, listen, if you're able to ramp out Lancelot, dude, I wish I knew more about this deck. I will say at GG Haven, in that video, they were going pretty in-depth into the differences, what you'd more or less expect to see. I think they were mentioning unit maintenance and stuff like that. So, once again, if you want to hear more details, especially in-depth about Code Geass specifically, highly recommend their video. But, yeah, again, a gross deck, dude, with the energy generation. Skipping the 1s here. But we've got 12 zeros. Hopefully you'd be okay on bricking. Oh, no, wait, you got Euphemia. One cost. That's so funny, dude. But the raids putting in work. We've got a lot of bodies. And then something that they mentioned, too, that is something to keep in mind is this Lancelot is a damage 2 unrated. So you could go with a little bit, take a page out of Renji Rush's book and just hard play your Lancelots. Save your raid targets, but on top of that, now you've got damage 2 pressure as well. Maybe these guys too if you ever wanted to, but especially your 6 cost early on. Just drop them down. Now you've got a vanilla 4k damage 2 body your opponent has to worry about. So yeah, Green Lancelot, dude. If the air cavalry is coming online, you're in trouble. And then in second place, we have got another Roy Mustang deck ran by Zanrio. We are looking at a no militaries in trouble build. Okay. I think we're just way more focused on getting bodies on the board, keeping bodies on the board. I don't think raid targets are ever an issue in this necessarily, but that does help with that. I mean, pretty standard build here. We just went with the 12 zeros, 6 ones, okay, a little bit heavier on the cheaper cards, which is always the safer, smarter bet. 3 of the Roy Mustangs. I think I like this number more, but I could see the value of cutting him for other cards for sure, just because he doesn't have the trigger, and sometimes you just got to play him to ramp, so the win play doesn't even matter. The standard 8 of these, just 1 Edward, okay, and then 4 of these Roy Mustangs as well. Again, if you are just slapping down 4K bodies and they are pressuring your opponent enough, they're gonna eventually run out of answers. See, I can definitely see the advantage to having more 4K body options to just slap down for sure. Yeah, no militaries in trouble though. I love that card, man. I gotta go at least 2 of it in a deck, at least. And I think I'm always doing like 2 Edwards now too. I really like this card. But yeah, second place Roy Mustang, dude. Just such a good deck. It's like, again, the pinnacle of like a really good, perfect deck, what you want to see. Draw power, consistency. Pretty low energy cost, minus your 1 raid. Lots of removal, draw power, great triggers across the board, deck filtration. This is such a good deck. Riza's raiding out of life and being really good defensively, oh my gosh. I love getting a Riza on my opponent's turn to raid. Not only can I block one of their attacks, because now they're a 3k attacker that I can block with her, but I'm also able to filter the top 4 before I do the draw for my turn, like bro. Riza Hawkeye she's such a good raid, dude. Like the whole package is just there. But yeah, shout out to Zanrio for getting second place with Roy Mustang. Once again, I don't think we're gonna see this deck going anywhere for a little while. It's just really good. It's just perfect in my opinion. And then last but certainly not least, the winner of the entire Bandai Card Games Fest in Dallas, first place Ryza, I believe that's how you say it, with the Green Code Geass Lancelot deck once again. Here, let me filter this by cost so we can actually see this, because look at this, Britannian Soldiers. So bro went with the 14-0 package. Okay, same with the other guys. So he went with like, was the other one 14 zeros? He did like the 1-1. Regardless, barely any 1s, if any, and then like 8 2s. I mean, if it works, you're just instantly getting your energy generation, I suppose. On top of that, with these small bodies, you've got early game blockers to sort of hopefully keep the game in your favor a little bit while you're ramping, essentially. That's my vision with this, on top of just having great triggers, too. Every single one of his 0 cost has a trigger. 8 no triggers, though, out of these, though. That might be annoying at times. And then, yeah, we got our 4 finals. Yeah, again, if you guys want to see more in-depth, like what you may or may not see in a standard Green Code Geass deck, I would recommend GG Haven's video, because they were getting into that a little bit. This is just one of the sets that I never dived into. It just wasn't, and then now it's winning. Now it's winning, bro. I knew this was gonna happen. I knew Code Geass was absolutely broken. Maybe this is my sign to just finally dive into it. Or maybe Rurouni Kenshin was just about to shut everything down with all the other new sets. Who knows? Who knows? But there it is, Lancelot winning it all. Huge shout out to Ryza, man. That's crazy. 9 rounds. All these players went through 9 rounds of Union Arena in one day, I'm pretty sure. That is crazy, dude. I don't know if I've ever played 9 games of Union in one day, especially like competitively with one deck. That's so crazy. Really awesome to see, though. And if you guys did just go out there and compete, again, massive shout out to you for supporting the scene, giving it your all. If you guys are going out to any other future regionals, huge shout out to you and good luck. Hopefully it goes well. These are awesome, man. They're definitely an experience, and they've got to be a fun time, no doubt. The connections you can make, the people you can meet, and yeah, just the overall vibes while you're out there, dude. I can't imagine it. But yeah, there it is, our winner of the Dallas second ever Union Arena Regionals. Green Code Geass is here to cook. There it is, though, guys. Every single top 16 deck list from the Dallas Regionals. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Once again, I'll have links in the description for all this stuff so you can check it out yourself, including all of the other decks as well, because it's awesome that we have up to 32. Again, if there's any way that I can help with this in the future, in the next Regionals, whatever, please feel free to reach out to me. Would be more than happy to lend a hand however I can. But yeah, there it is. Really, really sick to see. Make sure you guys show some love. And if you did get top 16 and you got a channel or something, plug yourself in the comments. Would love to support you however I can, check you out, etc., for other people to find you, all that good stuff. But yeah, there it is. Top 16, top 32 from Dallas Regionals. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.